We always talk about the money, follow the money. Well, the Trump administration is moving to dismantle a landmark federal program that has supported minority and women-owned businesses for more than 4 decades. This could have major consequences for black entrepreneurs and the people that work for them. The Department of Justice has filed a proposed settlement to end the $37 billion Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program. It allocates at least 10% of federal transportation funding to firms owned by historically marginalized groups. The move comes after 2 white-owned Indiana construction companies sued the Department of Transportation in 2023, arguing that their DBE program was unconstitutional and amounted to discrimination against non-minority businesses. Now, mind you, 90% of the $700 billion in federal contract goes to white people. And of the minority and women business enterprises, white women get 78% of that. No shock, Donald Trump administration sided with the white plaintiffs, stating that the program's race and gender-based requirements, quote, can no longer pass constitutional scrutiny in light of recent Supreme Court decisions, which is actually bullshit. If a federal judge approves the settlement, the DBE program would be permanently dismantled, putting at risk the livelihoods of 49,000 minority and women-owned businesses that rely on these contracts to grow and compete in the $759 billion transportation sector. Matt, this is why this is bullshit. They are trying to take the Supreme Court decision regarding race and admissions applied to everything. That's bullshit, Matt. The Supreme Court is on record as laying out the parameters of affirmative action in contracting in previous decisions. So this college admissions ruling should have no bearing on the other programs, which the Supreme Court has already established precedent. Now, they can always overturn that precedent, but to say that the college admissions Supreme Court decision now impacts every other is a lie.
Which is exactly why they're framing it this way, to try to extend or modify the law. There's a rule in the federal rules of civil procedure that says you can try to modify existing law in certain circumstances, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to engraft that upon any issue where there is a racial component to it, or they think there's an affirmative action component to it, and they're trying to take that logic and attack every single thing, a la Edward Bloom, which we know he's doing and others behind that movement are doing. And I have really 3 thoughts on this. The first is, I had a conversation this week. I didn't realize that she had said this, but Nicole Hannah-Jones apparently said something I think very profound that's appropriate here. She said, what you're seeing is you're seeing the language of civil rights obviously being co-opted by white plaintiffs trying to turn things on their head. And that's exactly right, because if you look at this complaint, in this complaint, they cited that, quote, disfavored groups are being disadvantaged by, quote, preferred racial groups. It's crazy that they would frame it that way because they're calling the white people here disfavored. But just like you said, the imbalance is so egregious. I mean, 90% of that $7 billion is going towards white firms, then it stands to reason that is de facto the favored group. So to use that language is to turn it on its head and to try to extend that law. But the other thing about it that's bogus is that the Trump administration is apparently on record in this court filing saying that this was patently unconstitutional. Now, Roland, every day of the week, they file some asinine lawsuit that is patently unconstitutional, or really, he files an executive order that on its face is unconstitutional. We're seeing the courts continue to say they're doing things unconstitutional, and they're talking out the other side of their head this time when they say that this is unconstitutional, and that's why they're ending the program. So there's not only cognitive dissonance, but there is flat out dishonesty because they choose to do things that are unconstitutional when it's ideologically consistent with what they want to do. And otherwise, they're trying to beat the drum the other way. And you cannot have that.
Michael, you remember this bullshit right here? The Platinum Plan. Opportunity. By achieving historic employment levels for Black Americans as well as increasing access to capital for new businesses, Trump has been committed to ensuring all Black Americans can achieve the American dream. Remember, he claimed 3 million new jobs, creating 500,000 new black-owned businesses, increase access to capital in black communities by almost 500 billion, blah, 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 blah. All the little black economic empowerment and access to capital. Oh, I'm going to do all of these things, and this, that, and the other. And oh, look at this here. Oh, my goodness, fueling access to capital for black-owned businesses. Oh, look at this here. He said, make the Minority Business Development Agency permanent. Appoint its leader to the Assistant Secretary of Commerce level. Create a sub-office of African American Affairs and engage with private sector advisors to ensure real-world plans and solutions. Oh, look at this here. Increase the number of black-owned contracting businesses, financial services entities, and private equity investment funds through regulatory reform and up to $40 billion in government funding alongside traditional private investment. Oh, that was all of the things that he was sitting here touting that he was going to be doing. And boy, look at this right here. He said he was going to seek infrastructure funding that will lead to widespread growth in the annual $500 billion federal contracting opportunities. Look at this here. Grow minority-owned businesses with additional tax cuts to stimulate hiring and investment. We said it then. And then all these Negroes, Ice Cube, he met with the Trump people and y'all diss Cube. What did I say to Ice Cube? They full of shit, Cube. Don't buy the bullshit, Cube. They lying. We said that. We called it out. And all these little Negroes, and I'm going to talk about some of them, the help. I call them the help. And that's right. I'm talking about you, Michaela Montgomery. I'm talking about you, Sharice Lane. I'm talking about you, Pastor Darrell Scott. I'm talking about David Harris. I'm talking about King Randall. I'm talking about Joseph Pinion. I'm talking about Terrence Williams. All you Simple Simon Negroes who were at the White House Black History Month reception, y'all just skinning and grinning. Y'all just happy to be in the house, thinking y'all doing boots on the ground when they were sitting here tap dancing on your goddamn heads.
Roland, I call that the fool's gold plan. We talked about this on your show, October 2020. That's when I made my first appearance. I've been on your show for 5 years. I call that the fool's gold plan. Donald Trump basically didn't do any of that stuff in his first term in office. Keep in mind, he had 4 years to do all that. He basically did none of that. And he just signed an executive order at the end of March 2025 to kill the Minority Business Development Agency that he promised in the bullshit platinum plan that he was going to make permanent. Okay. And when you look at the conversation that we just had with Naomi, you look at that Supreme Court ruling, 2023 Supreme Court ruling that struck down affirmative action in college admissions. They're using this as one of the tools to gut all these programs that were partially beneficial for African Americans. Whether we talk about the $37 billion program, the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise program, okay, and then you saw on the Platinum Plan, he talked about an infrastructure bill. Every other week was infrastructure week in the first Trump administration. He could not get an infrastructure bill passed. But you know who got one pushed through? Biden Harris, $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. And this $37 billion is distributed. It's distributed in that $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. So when you go through, and I encourage all the people that you just named, Google, how have the policies of the Biden-Harris administration helped the black community? One of the documents that comes up is about a 36-page document that takes you through all these. The fastest growth of black-owned businesses in the last 30 years happened under the Biden-Harris administration. When you look at the also $10 billion in government contracts, okay, in 2023, $10 billion in government contracts went to African-American owned businesses. Now, even though that was only about 1.7% of all government contracts, that's a record amount. We didn't get that under the Trump administration.
But see, again, their whole deal here, Melinda, is to shut it all down. And I ain't sitting here saying where the fans at. I'm saying where the FBA at, where the B1 at. Where all y'all Negroes? Come on. Here's what I want to know. Philip Scott, Jason Black, Come on. Vicky Dillon.
On them to help.
Vicky Dillon. Come on. What's the other boy with little documentaries? I forgot his little name. All y'all, all them Negroes. Your vote ain't gonna do nothing. It ain't gonna do nothing. It ain't gonna achieve nothing. Really? And these are hold up. Where you punk ass at, Boyce Watkins? All y'all ran y'all miles. Y'all was shitting on Kamala, shitting on Biden. Y'all was sitting there, all of y'all nonsense. And we told y'all, voting has an impact. And then y'all run it. So I love the same Negroes. Yeah, I'm specifically, because see, normally I don't even say nothing about his sorry, trifling ass. But I'm going to go ahead and say it. All this bullshit, Boyce Watkins, after Trump inauguration, we focus on black-owned businesses, building black-owned businesses, supporting black-owned businesses. Well, please tell me this. If your ass can't get access to federal contracts and your ass can't get state contracts, then they're going to target county contracts, then they're going to target city contracts and school district contracts. What your ass going to get? Oh, I'm sorry, because when they also shut down DEI, now you can't get corporate. So I just want to know, all of y'all support black-owned businesses, Negroes who shitted on Harris and saying, damn her, and you, well, I ain't say vote for Trump, but that's what you were saying indirectly. I just want to know, if to shut down this program, forget the contracts. So again, we're seeing loss of contracts in corporate, loss of contracts in federal. Republicans are controlling the red states where black people are. So what do you think they're going to do next in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina? Republicans control North Carolina legislature. What do you think is going to happen in Arkansas? What do you think? So that's all I'm trying to understand. But we would call shields. We would call kiss up to the Democratic Party. See, all you so-called wannabe fake-ass radicals, super-duper revolutionaries, here's what I want to know. Every black person can't sell incense. Every black person can't have a T-shirt business. Every black person can't sit here. So I just want to know, what businesses do y'all think black people can actually create? And here's the reality that nobody wants to own up. The United States economy is a $30 trillion economy. Black people do not have enough money to solely fund black people.
Right.
It's just a fact. If black spending power is 1.6 trillion, and if we know that most Americans are spending half of their income on housing, boom, 1.6 is now cut to 800 billion. So we ain't got the food, we ain't got the clothes, we ain't got to any of that stuff as well. So the point I'm saying is, you cannot grow a black business sector if you're only serving one community. And when you're getting X'd out, and now we're talking engineering firms, architecture firms, now we're talking about contracts with DOD, now we're talking about contracts with every federal government agency. Please tell me what's going to happen. But we were shields. We were sitting here, we were on the plantation. We were sitting here kissing up to Kamala. All this shit has happened, and we ain't even hit the 6-month mark of this white supremacist administration.
Well, there are a couple things I want to respond to. First, Michael, I do love that you did point out how Trump did not do anything in those 4 years in regards to the Platinum Plan. And that's also the excuse that people used for Kamala, but they didn't give her the chance when she wasn't even president in the first place. So I do love that you pointed that out. But I think that this is a clear move to obviously block Black people specifically, but also women and minorities from just achieving any form of economic success.
Yeah.
It's just a way to strip away the support that we need to level the playing field, because they don't want us to level the playing field.
Yeah.
They want to gaslight us to make it seem like we don't have enough money, we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the good businesses.
Sustain.
It's a way for them to continue to control us. And the reality is that we've had generations of exclusion and discrimination that have kept us from allowing our Black businesses to succeed. And that's exactly why they are getting rid of this help, because they don't want us to surpass them in any way. They don't want us to achieve any form of success.
do all y'all on the show, do y'all remember? Let me just go ahead and pull this up because I think a lot of people just seem to forget. So just in case anybody is sitting here saying, you know, I don't know about all that role, just go to my iPad. See, if y'all go right now to YouTube and type in Roland Martin Defund Black America, you are going to see these are the segments that we did. We've done thus far where I said Trump wants to defund Black America. Oh, I laid it all out. I'm sorry. What is this right here? Oh, this is called White Fear, how the browning of America is making white folks lose their minds. Everything in this book I've been saying since 2009. The book was published in 2022. You can get it on Audible as well. Oh, I'm sorry. What was I saying in this book? They're going to be attacking every single economic program that black people have been able to participate in. Oh, and let me be real clear. I'm not saying those programs have been amazing, have been great, have been wonderful. My point is they actually exist. Last point I'll make before I go to break. This is also for you Simple Simon some bitches out there who was sitting here talking all this shit, calling all this out. Y'all saying, well, see, all that stuff, that ain't got down to the brother and the sister in the hood. That's also a lie. Because you know what? When you own a black-owned business, you're likely going to be employing black people. That means somebody not only is a VP or a COO, a salesperson, they also might be an assistant or a receptionist. That means that they now have a job and they are also funding other family members. It also means that, well, where else are you going to go? Oh, those same black-owned businesses are funding black institutions. Those same black-owned businesses are creating economic opportunities and funding HBCUs. They are tithing in churches. They are supporting black organizations. Oh, I'm not talking just about the Divine Nine. I'm not talking just about Alpha and AKA and Delta and Omega and Kappa and all the Divine Nine. I'm not talking just about Prince Hall Mason. I'm not talking just about the Lynx or Jack and Jill or the top ladies of distinction. See, all y'all punk ass, the black boule. Y'all don't know shit about black people. Y'all don't know shit about how black people, how things are funded in the black community. And the underpinning of the black middle class and the black lower class has literally been access to contracts. On top of that, it has been access to jobs in government, federal government, state government, city government, county government, school district government. So what then happens when you begin to whack those particular jobs? What begins to happen when you whack those jobs? Oh, I'm sorry. They start getting laid off. Oh, I'm sorry. What then happens? Their kids now can't go to school. What then happens? They now have to file for unemployment insurance because they don't have a job. And we're seeing that right now. So it's called the downstream effect, the downstream impact of all of these different things. And all y'all Simple Simons. Oh, I remember Umar saying that vote ain't going to get you nothing. Really? Okay. Gotcha. All y'all, all them people y'all listen to, all running their mouths, feeding the algorithm, feeding on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, and y'all sitting there going, see, you a sellout. Say, yeah, you a sellout. You a sellout. And we told y'all asses this was going to happen. We told you exactly what they were going to attack. And here's the worst part. They fucking told you to. They gave your ass a nearly 1,000-page document, and they told you we coming after all your shit. And y'all run the fuck around with your little, talking Black Wall Street. Oh, yeah, we need to give back to Black Wall Street. Well, tell me this here. How you gonna build some shit without some contracts? See, y'all, the same Simple Simons. Oh, yeah. See, you got $350,000 from the Kamala campaign. You got that. It's called advertising. You know who also got advertising? Disney, Comcast, Sinclair. I could go down the damn line. All media companies live on advertising. Oh, I'm sorry. So if I got a media company, I can't get advertising. So I'm supposed to do shit for free, run ads for free? Really? So when Netflix is running ads on a Fox, what? So Fox get to charge them for ads, but I can't charge them for ads? Is that how this works? Oh, I'm sorry. So how did we just buy our new vehicle for $276,000? How do we pay for the insurance for $20,000 a year? Oh, it's coming from advertising contracts. That shit's called business. So can we just go ahead and cut to the chase? The real reason that people are talking all this shit, a bunch of them Simple Simons, because they actually don't have businesses. They've been talking about opening schools now for a decade. See, I'm going there because, see, this is what happens when you listen to people who don't know shit they talking. I saw a video earlier, and a sister did, she just killed me with the video. She said, don't y'all notice? She said, very few people go from employee to entrepreneur. She said, your ass was never a middle manager. You ain't never seen a P&L statement. You ain't never seen a damn spreadsheet. But now you want to be an entrepreneur because you think a business card says CEO, and now you the boss, and now you running some shit. No, that ain't the case. Oh, I know somebody sitting there saying, damn, dog, you on one. Yeah, I'm on one because we told you, dumbasses, what was going to go down. We told you what they were doing. We told you that they were pissed with the advancements of Black America. We told you they did not like 2043 and the estimate saying America's going to be a nation majority people of color. We told y'all that. So that's why they hate the Haitians in Springfield. That's why they can't stand Black and brown immigrants coming into this country, because they like, nah, this our shit. We told y'all what the scene from the movie The Good Shepherd, when Matt Damon said, when Joe Pesci said, we got this and they got this. What y'all got? They said, we got the United States of America. The rest of y'all just visited. But a lot of y'all chose to listen to chaos agents who are grossly ill-informed. And what are they doing? They snatching it all. What did we just tell y'all? They want to permanently get rid of the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program.
Yep.
Do you now understand that you wiped that out? Now, please tell me how you gonna compete for contracts. You do know that under Trump, they rebundle contracts. So as opposed to having $10 million contracts, which you were then able to compete for, they no, make that one $100 million contract. Now you can't compete. Oh, I'm sorry. Where did that unbundling come from? Oh, that was from Maynard Jackson. That's from Atlanta. You know, the city where Black people were getting 0.0012% of all contracts. 1972, he became mayor in 1973. So what did he say? Let's unbundle contracts to allow an African American to become a prime contractor. What does that mean? Well, because the rules say, I cover city government, y'all cover county government. I saw how they actually wrote the rules of various proposals. Yes, I actually saw how they were written. And they would say, you cannot bid on a prime contract unless you have been a prime contractor. So therefore, if you are only a subcontractor, you never can bid on a prime contractor. Maynard Jackson in Atlanta, they changed that when they said, okay, we're going to break the contracts up. You now can, we're going to call them 10 prime contracts. You now can bid on a prime. And if you bid on a prime and win it one time, you now can compete for prime contracts in the future. But y'all keep listening to the Simple Simons who call us shields, who say we're the boule, who say we talk down to regular ordinary people, and understand they literally have no idea what the hell they're talking about. And they got a lot of y'all fooled listening to them. And y'all just repeat phrases as if, and then you say, oh yeah, y'all are over there talking down to people. Okay. Please, by all means, tell me what's going to happen when a $37 billion initiative is wiped out. Where you going to go? That's why y'all got to support this show. That's why y'all got to watch this show. That's why y'all got to not listen to folk who know what they're talking about. Because I'm telling y'all, and this is real simple. How many of these same shows talking about this very story? I'll wait. And what are they saying? I'll wait. They ain't saying nothing. They feeding you a bunch of bullshit. Now, maybe you can subsist on bullshit, go right ahead. Because for me, last I checked, what you ingest is what you output. So therefore, if you ingest bullshit, you're going to output bullshit. You're our Brina Funk fan club. We do this every single night. And it's this show and others, because this is about getting real information so you can understand the attacks that are going on, and there is a clear and present danger, and that is a racist asshole who is sitting in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue who is causing massive destruction to not only present-day America, present-day Black America, but they simply want to provide more destruction.